Hey, 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 everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in, come on in. Let me share the broadcast. Y'all see me in all these strange locations. I spent the night with my girl. We had a slumber party. I know people be like, y'all too old to have slumber party. We're not. Like, anytime we can just like have like a sleepover, especially if we haven't seen each other in a while, it's an amazing thing. Come on in, you guys. Come on in. It's Good Friday. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let me go in and share. Bear with me, bear with me. Let me share. Hey, 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 good morning. Let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Let me know who's here and where you are tuning in from. I'm going to share this. All right. Today is Good Friday. It's the day that we honor, recognize the death um, of Jesus. You know, this entire journey, the 40 days, um, of Lent, the 21 days of the fast, um, this week, Passion Week, Holy Week, has all been about for me really going through the transformation to um, look more like Him in how I deal with people, in how I treat people. Um, those things become very important. Now, y'all, listen, we can focus on and get caught up in the traditions, and traditions definitely have value. But when we really understand that this is a time for us to really transform us so that we can be resurrected in Him and with Him, then that makes all the difference in the world because it becomes more personal. And I've been talking about this a lot. It being more personal, it being more personal. You got to make it personal. It is personal. So, in that, um, Jesus endured a lot, went through a lot, experienced a lot. He just did. And we can't endure nothing. It baffles me that we struggle with enduring anything, with going through anything. We don't know how to go through stuff. And that's a problem. We've got to be able to go through stuff. We've got to be able to endure things in order for us to be able to get to destiny. If you can't endure anything, you're not going to be able to withstand the challenges, the struggles, the trials, the tribulations that's a part of your preparation for destiny. Destiny is not just a destination. It is it is a it's not a singular event. It is a series of things that God has already ordained for you. Now, so some people would say, Dr. V, are you saying that there is predetermination or predestination? Yeah, yeah. God knows. He knows. He knows. But He gives us an opportunity to choose whether or not we walk into it. Now, that's where the choice comes from. This day, this day, when Jesus carried His cross, when He was flogged with the cat o' nine tails, the whip with glass and nails in the leather. Um, that's not something we want to often think about. But God, you can't have the resurrection without the crucifixion. You can't have the resurrection without, there's no resurrection without crucifixion. So, yesterday, today, um, people are giving the seven last words, which are actually seven last phrases that Jesus said. And breaking down what he said at the end. But can we talk for a minute? Can we talk for a minute about the things that happened leading up to the seven last words or the seven last sayings or the 7 last phrases that he said? Um, he went through some stuff. He carried his cross. You all, what does carrying your cross mean? It means that you carry the burdens of your life. You carry those things that have happened to you. You carry um discomfort, you sacrifice, you go through some stuff. You have to experience some stuff in order to really understand the pain that he endured. My son, today's his birthday. Shout out to Makai. Makai turned 18 today, but he wanted a tattoo. He said, "Mom, let's get tattoos together." I said, "Okay." I'd been wanting to get one, didn't know what I was going to get, wasn't quite sure. So we went and we did it. And when I was getting the tattoo, honestly, um, what I thought about was Jesus. I thought about his skin being ripped. Now, of course, mine was by choice, his was not. But I thought about his skin being ripped from his back. I thought about the pain that he must have experienced. And in that moment, I drew on his strength because it takes another level of strength to endure certain pain. So I drew on his strength and I was like, God, you know, I know if Jesus can endure that, then I can endure the pain of this needle. I can endure this little pain just for a moment, like just for that time. I felt my skin like being broken, right? Nothing compared to what he went through, absolutely nothing. But I felt connected in the suffering. You all, when you understand that your suffering is not in vain, your suffering is not for naught, your suffering is creating endurance, your suffering is allowing you to connect with God, your suffering has a point, it has a place. There's something that God is doing in your suffering, then you can suffer graciously, suffer with gratitude, suffer and understand that the suffering has purpose. So it'll allow you to make it through the suffering. And then you can trust God with it. Trust God with the healing. Trust God with the process. Trust God with everything that's happening around you because He needs us to trust Him. It's not popular, right? You don't want to talk about that, but it's the truth. It is when we connect with him in his suffering that we're also able to reign with him. He says, when you suffer with me, you can reign with me. It's what has us seated in heavenly places. It is a part of us experiencing his glory. And honestly, I'm so grateful that he was willing to suffer that we might have life, that we might live, that we might have eternal salvation, that we might not just have, not just live, but live and live more, have life and have life more abundantly. And so when we understand that Good Friday, what makes it good is not his death. What makes it good is that he chose to do this for us. And without this, there could be no resurrection. Without this, there would be no um Easter Sunday. Like he wouldn't have been able to get up because he wouldn't have gone down. God had a plan, and Jesus was a part of the plan. Now, that's Jesus's part, right? I want to talk about us for a minute. God has a plan for us too, and we're a part of that plan. And it requires us doing what it is that God has called us to do in order for us to get to the promise. There's a promise attached to your suffering. There's a promise attached to what you're going through. There's a promise attached to your assignment. There's a promise. And what you have to do is you have to figure out, God, how do I maintain? How do I sustain? How do I get to the place of the promise? How do I do this? How do I go through? God, I need strength. And then you take your journey. Don't be afraid to take the journey. The journey is a necessary part of the process and expect God to do great things. I'm going to come back a little later. I'm going to give a prophetic word, but I wanted to talk about Good Friday because it's important for us to understand what this is. It's not just another holiday. This is a time for God, for us to just appreciate the sacrifice that God made, that Jesus made. All of it is important. Look, I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Have an amazing day. Mwah.